Uh, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Specrapular. We are a podcast that talks about movies that we like, relatively, right, Mike?
Sure. I mean, movies that we thought we might like.
Right.
Sometimes our opinions change because I think we've seen most of them.
Correct.
And then as we go back to watch them, you know.
Like New Guys, you hate it. Nice Guys, you did not like.
No, I didn't say I hated it. It's just some certain
Anyway,
stuff the wrong
I
way.
am one of your hosts, Brandon. And of course, I already said his name, but I am joined by
Mike.
And again, we
It's actually
are
Gary, but you already called him Mike, so we'll just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 15 years. Might as well just keep it going long enough. And today we are reviewing the movie Hereditary.
Our first horror movie.
Our first horror. And although the director, what's his name again?
Ari Aster.
He believes this movie is more of a drama, thriller, opposed to horror.
Okay.
What I've read that. Anyway, so today, though, we have a special guest. This person is an individual that I met. How many years ago was that?
I don't know.
Because he was your friend first, and it stayed that way.
He's still just my friend.
Yeah, I just happened to see him.
You're an acquaintance.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah.
But it is our mutual pal, Luis. Luis, welcome.
Hello.
You are our first guest.
I am.
And soon to be last, based on what's so far of what we're going through.
Just your facial reactions, like we're gonna tell you're not
No,
Yeah.
no.
on again.
This is not for you.
No, no.
Well, the stuff for the radio and podcast is perfect for you, so nobody sees your face.
Yeah.
But
No second episode for me.
No, absolutely not. But when Mike and I were talking about this movie, you were still one of the first people that we wanted to have in this because you like this genre, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I generally don't like horror.
Why not?
It's just a lot of horrors that
He's a sissy.
Yeah, I'm a big pussy bitch. Is the first time I really saw a horror movie was Event Horizon, and that fucked my shit.
Yep.
That's a good movie.
It is. I've seen it as an adult. I'm like, okay, it still kind of makes me cringe a little bit, the stuff that is going on in the movie. But it's just not, I don't like
Does he
blood,
miss his
guts.
eyes? Or does his eyes get...
I think the Sam Neill when he was Inside Out is what really fucked me. Like,
okay.
that part.
He was Inside Out. I thought he was burnt.
Oh, that could be it too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I know the young guy gets into,
the
thrown
black
into
guy,
space.
right?
No,
But
the
he
young white guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, blow all the oxygen out of your lungs. He still like spits up blood.
Ugh.
But he lives through that part, right? It was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
We should have.
Have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
we'll
we
see
do that
if-
episode. We'll get
Sure,
into
let
it.
me relive my nightmares. But yeah, it's just never been a huge thing. I know, Mike, you like horror, and obviously, Luis, you do.
Yep.
But anyhow.
Well, I think I got caught up in like the whole recent like fancy horror movies a little bit, where everyone's
Like The
super happy.
Witch.
Like The Witch and
Midsummer, all that same
Midsommar,
same
It
person.
Follows.
It Follows. Yeah. Babadook, all those sort of things.
Was Babadook good?
I heard it
Yeah,
was good.
I liked it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
I like it. I haven't seen it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mike, why don't you tell us about Hereditary? Like, what's the synopsis for this movie?
All right, so Hereditary from 2018, directed by Ari Aster. So it goes a little something like when Ellen, the matriarch of the Graham family, passes away, her daughter's family begins to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry. Get it? Hereditary? The more they discover, the more they find themselves trying to outrun the sinister fate they seem to have inherited. Inherited.
And there it is.
Oh, damn it. It was
You had
good
one
for a
job.
second.
You had one job, and it was to know
boy.
how to read.
Take two.
And
Here we
you
go.
already fucked
When
yourself.
Ellen. Oh, no, it's too late.
So yeah, that's Hereditary, and I guess So we've all seen this movie prior,
Right.
And we rewatched it. What were your guys' first thoughts on this movie the first time you saw it? Like, was there anything about this that stood out first? Like, what? Doesn't matter.
Okay. So this is my favorite movie of 2018.
Okay.
But I think mostly because of the actual movie experience with it. So like I look back on the list of movies that came out that year, they're pretty good. But it was like a Friday or Saturday night or whatever, and just and the theater was packed because I think it did pretty good. And just
Oh, this is pre-COVID. All right.
back when we could stand near people.
Yeah.
Just like that atmosphere, like just the twist in the middle, and we'll get into it, and then just that fucking roller coaster ending. It just everyone was on the edge.
Ugh, that
those
ending.
people up in the corner, freaking everyone out. It's one of those things where you're in the theater, and step by step, or like person by person, you start to when somebody sees the thing in the corner, because like there's like little whispers.
Oh, yeah.
On the side. And then more of those whispers. Then like more gasping, and then till everyone recognizes what they're seeing on screen. So I think that really like I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's tight.
Yeah. See, I didn't see this in theaters.
Well,
No.
that's because you're a loser. That's
Yeah.
fine.
And Luis?
I saw it in the theaters, but it was empty.
Not scary at all.
No. The thing is that when I watched this, it kind of revamped the whole horror watching, like genre for me, because for a while there was like a lot of crappy movies that were coming out, and then afterwards.
Wait, horror movies are never bad. What are you talking about? There's no.
You didn't love Insidious 4?
You didn't like Saw 8?
Sid Harder?
Yeah, Saw 8, Sawing Harder.
Well,
Saw Harder.
well, the thing is that after this, I went back and started watching horror movies
because you
again.
hadn't seen all the good ones that came out.
Yeah, because I'm like, everything I saw before, it
Right.
kind of influenced, and I was really just watching like action movies or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
True Lies on repeat
Yeah.
every week.
Con Air.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to make my flight. That's not a good Nick Cage.
It means no, never mind.
And Dave Chappelle getting ran over and shit. And what was
No,
his
he
name?
gets crushed in the...
Yeah, but
in the-
oh, that's right. But it seemed like
in
he
a
was like,
landing gear.
and he like fell over. It seemed like he got ran over initially. But yeah, he got caught in that. Or how the guy was about to say Cyrus, and he's like, Sayonara, and he throws the cigarette. Like, how was that timing? Anyway, so you both like horror. I just never really got into it because it was just all blood. And I prefer a good thriller. And to me, I guess I would still consider this a thriller until that fucking last scene, really. And because there's some freaky shit happening, but nothing that was...
Well, that was the big thing about this movie.
Yeah.
Was the marketing. So, like, the main character, so we have Toni Collette, she's Annie, she's the mom. Gabriel Byrne,
And
Steve.
I fucking love Toni Collette.
Yeah, she's
And my main
stunning.
a note that I have here is Toni Collette is amazing. Like, I've always liked her as an actor.
Bold, italics, underline, exclamation point.
She's great.
Well, that's one of the big gripes. Like, she didn't get a
A
Oscar nomination or anything. Like, okay.
It's a horror movie. Like, well, I guess if you look at Jordan Peele, and because I would say Get Out, they consider a horror, but really, I don't see that as a horror either. But you got best or
Yeah, but it took a movie like that to get the ball rolling on horror. Although that
Sure.
was the year before, and then this one you think it would have opened the gates a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But,
Okay.
for example, the movie, it was supposed to be a deterioration of a family falling apart.
Right.
Originally, that's what it was.
Right.
And then he added
Still
the
is.
horror afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
So,
family first, and
yeah.
It's a family-friendly
yeah, yeah.
movie.
heads falling off
Yeah.
And
second.
then, piano wire or whatever kind of wire that is. Was it
Yeah,
the
piano.
establishment? Yeah, okay. But anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so Alex Wolff plays Peter. He's the son.
Yeah.
Millie Shapiro, she's the little girl. So she's in all the advertising.
Yeah.
So it's all
Even though it's not...
it's just this horror movie, creepy little girl, creepy little kid, hits all the boxes, does that weird sound thing. I think they use that in the commercials too, right?
Yeah.
As I remember. But it's like a big FU to the audience, but like in a good way. Because, I mean, we're doing the spoilers already, right?
Yeah.
So she dies 30 minutes
She
into this.
does?
Uh-huh.
How does she die?
Wait, I have a drum here. Dead.
She died dead. Okay. Yes, she does die. Horribly, I might add.
Yeah.
Like, painfully. And the fucking noise that it makes when she gets decapitated is like... I was like...
Well, I can already see like the Foley guy like hitting like the celery or
Yeah,
whatever.
celery
Just-
stick. Cracks a celery over a piece of wood. With some rocks.
Dude, but when they go to that scene where they show her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mangled.
I'm
The
like,
ants all over it.
Sorry. So
No,
anyway,
no,
like I
no.
was saying,
Yeah.
so I thought, after I watched the movie, I'm like, oh, that's a real that's a gutsy move to pull off, like to essentially center and focus all your advertising on like this, what you think would be like, oh, someone
bait
goes
and
crazy
switch.
and this kid's gonna go crazy and murder the family or whatever. I don't know how you're gonna, but it's like a bait and switch and they pull like the rug out from underneath you. And then I did some research, like, oh yeah, the first time they did this was Psycho, which all the commercials, all the stuff was with Janet Leigh. She was supposed to be the star of the movie,
Yep.
and then she dies, halfway through the movie. So it's like,
Oh, yeah, when she gets stabbed.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, drawing back on the past a little bit. Very clever, Ari. Interesting. I gave him a little clap. I was
Yeah.
in the theater clapping. The
People
guys
told
are
you to
like,
keep it down.
Sir, please put your heads away.
We've asked you many times already.
And then I put them in my pockets. They're like, not there.
Yeah.
And then I
Please
just
stop
had to
clapping or whatever you're making with that noise. It sounds like this. Whatever that noise is, sir. You
Yeah,
need to stop.
in their defense, it wasn't my first time for them hearing that noise. It's just
And you have to put your
particular
pants
case.
back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
So-
you watch movies that you watch them. I'm gonna watch them how I watch them. But Luis was in the theater by himself. Who knows what the fuck he was doing?
But this movie also had not Peter Gabriel. It had Gabriel Burns, and
That would have been cool too.
yeah. But like seeing him made me want to watch Usual Suspects, which is also a phenomenal movie. Unfortunately, directed by Bryan Singer. But
How many? What is it? The third movie we had to put like a. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, this guy's a shithead.
yeah, I pretty much
Ari,
yeah.
don't do anything, please.
Yeah.
For at least 20 years.
Yeah, at least so we can enjoy your movies for a while before you start talking shit. Yeah. Gabriel Burns though, Usual Suspects. What else the fuck has he been in? Other stuff and things. And things. But I think the only thing
Well, I think him and the Alex Wolff guy, they played father and son in a TV show on HBO in Treatment back in the day. Too.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, hey, we're buddies already.
Yeah, because
Is he Irish?
Yeah. something
Because
like
they were saying something about his speech during the movie that it was coming out. You know, like
that. Oh, yeah, I heard a little bit.
yeah. All right.
well, he's definitely old now. So who'd have thought people age? But his was rapid. Might even say too quick. And there was a at the beginning of the movie. I don't know what there's those little drawers when the camera pulls. There's a lot of pull-ins and push-outs like in this. Like just, I think every scene had a pull-in
That
somewhere.
camera's moving.
Yeah, constantly.
Well, I mean, this is his debut movie.
I thought he had done. Oh, okay. So no,
this is-
I was reading stuff that he in film school he had some pretty well received movies
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah, like short and yeah, he made a whole bunch.
Yeah.
He was uploading them through YouTube.
Yeah, they're on there.
Yeah.
I recommend not watching the strange thing about the Johnsons because that's a fucking bummer.
Why?
Well, wouldn't you say all his movies are kind of a bummer?
Is it like Midsommar?
So it's a
Pew, isn't it?
incest family
Oh.
drama.
Yeah.
So it's
Where
was it
the
takes
hold
place
on,
in Japan?
where the African American family actually,
Okay.
where the son molests the father. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's. Pretty
Oh, you
out
told me about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me. And then I think I had asked you like, is there a reason why he chose like a black family? Like, no, just it's black family. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer.
but it's interesting.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
you
this-
enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but
I mean, you had to put your pants back on.
yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever works.
But anyway, so this is like his directorial feature length debut. So like even that first shot with it going around the room with all the miniatures, and then I guess zooming in on the one bedroom, and
Yeah.
it's the actual son in the bedroom. Like
Yeah.
that's like he's going like balls out. Like this is my first movie, pulling out all the tricks, which I
Well,
appreciate.
that was I on the way as we're driving over here to Luis's house, because Luis, you live far as fuck from us. But I had brought up the fact that the whole this wasn't even a house that they filmed this in. This was the exterior, yes, but everything else was a set because they had to try to match things for the miniatures. Which I might say, miniatures kind of creep me out. Kind of like dolls, like those what are those Great American Girl or something like that?
American Girl
yeah.
dolls.
Those
I mean, I don't
fucking
know.
Creep me. Those creep me out a lot. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a garage full of them. There's just something about dolls that their eyes open.
Oh.
You know, and then ones if you tilt them a certain way, they close because it's
Yeah.
like they're sleeping. I can't. Like,
Well, they did a whole episode on it on the new Tales from the Crypt show.
That's on.
Yeah,
Well, I know
it got revamped. I don't know, a couple like 2 years ago.
Oh, was it
maybe?
really that long ago already? Because I
Yeah.
know I heard they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
But what is it on? Like HBO, Showtime?
I think Showtime. I want to think.
Mike, what do you think?
Playboy Channel. What?
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, it's on Spice.
Yeah.
Is Spice still a channel?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me check my credit card statement real quick. Looks like it.
$60.
Because
Let's see, Pornhub, OnlyFans, Spice Channel. There it is.
yeah,
Got it.
Spank Bank. Here we go. But no, what I was gonna say is when the camera was pulling in from the outside, and then there was like drawers. I thought that was like a Dewey Decimal System, but then I realized that's not a Dewey Decimal System at all. Because Dewey Decimals is like based on, like 0 to 100 is this and this and this. I don't know the Dewey Decimal System, but I also didn't know that if you want to be a librarian, you got to go to college for that. What the fuck is that? What,
Keep
you got to know how to
track of things.
alphabetize and
Yeah,
Dewey
maybe.
Decimal. I think that's all. And how to tell people.
Alphabetize.
Shh. That's what you got to tell people too, and how to make the Wi-Fi work for the library. Just unplug it, plug it back in.
Shake
Simple
and
as
then
that.
shake down 6-year-olds for 50 cents.
Stealing the books, stealing magazines.
Timmy, we talked about this. Do I need to go to your house again?
You trying to make copies again for free?
What's your dog's name again? Skipper? Seems pretty happy. Be shame something happened to him.
Yeah. Shame his legs end up broken. So were there things about this movie that either of you, I mean, spoilers doesn't matter because
all right.
there's people.
We
The
literally ruined
thought
the
of this
whole thing,
is,
right?
Luis, that people have already seen this by the time they're listening to us because we let them know
right.
ahead of time. Hey, this next episode's this. You've listened to the episodes.
Yeah.
With your pants off. So, assumably, I mean, that's how I listen to us when I'm editing it. My pants are off. So, spoilers doesn't matter.
Nothing weird and sexual. It's just because it's hot.
Yeah, I get it. But was there something about this movie that stood out the most to either of you?
It's Toni Collette. Like that performance is
Hands down.
bonkers.
Yeah,
Bonkers. Like it's
she's great.
she's.
She's truly great.
I think my favorite part, not the whole thing, but my favorite like little moment with her is there's like a dinner scene where it just
She's yelling at him.
like it's funny, like stuff hits like the fan emotionally, and then stuff hits the fan, at the end of the movie, like demonically, but emotionally, I think that dinner scene is the most like cathartic, whatever.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. So like there's
Well, we're talking about when it's just the mom, dad, and okay, so yeah,
when she yells
Charlie's
at,
already gone.
at the
Yeah.
son. So she finishes yelling at her son, and she's, the dad says, "All right, calm down." And then the son comes back at her. He's like, "Well, what about you, mom? You told her to go to the party." And that fucking look on her face, like that rage, like it's like, oh my gosh, she looks like a goblin, like a demon. Like, oh man, she's gonna like pull up her fork and like stab him in the throat with it or something.
Yeah, flip the
at least
table.
flip the table. Like, come on.
But then you learn that it's resentment from not even wanting to have him.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's what made this not really a horror to me, because like you said, Luis, too, it's more of a family, like, drama. Family, it's the trials that families go through on a daily basis, I imagine. I'm sure there's millions of people that are going through this with their family. And it's just, like the end 10, 15 minutes when it just goes balls to the wall with nudity and old man dick and creepily smiling. Yeah, fucking Toni Collette hovering in corners of the ceiling, that is. But anything else that stands out to you?
That creepy dude smiling.
The naked dude in the closet? Yeah.
Dude, that creeped me out. I don't know, for whatever reason, for like days.
Granted, you're fixated on his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, we all looked. We all had
Well,
to
I wonder
compare.
how they. I mean, I'm sure there's like just some movie trick, but like it seemed like his face got brighter. So,
His
like,
teeth and his
mostly
eyes.
like
You
he's
can-
mostly in the shadow, and like just his
You can edit.
crazy ass eyes and his
absolutely,
teeth are just
absolutely.
like super bright. Like,
Yeah.
Even though he's in the shadow, I'm like, oh god, there's something there.
Like even the
It's the same dude is the same dude in the what is it when they're doing
At
in the
funeral.
first scene.
Yeah, at the funeral.
It's the
guy.
same dude that smiles.
oh
at,
the Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's something that kind of, well, like to me, the best, like something that stood out the most was probably when Toni Collette was just cutting her fucking head off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't really her, but like just cutting her head off, and the blows like would squirt out occasionally.
It's a noise.
Yeah, I'm a huge noise person. Like I can't, like in the previous podcast we did the Hunter of the Wilder People, and when Sam Neill broke his leg, I was like, or his ankle,
Yeah.
that bummed me out. But her just sawing off her head slowly, and him just watching for just long enough before it comes off like that. I mean, if I would have saw that, I don't know, I probably would just immediately ran.
Yeah.
But when it came to the naked people, obviously there's a ton of them standing outside the house, but when it came to inside the house, there's the guy in the closet, the two in the attic. Did you see any others?
There's three.
Three in the
And
attic.
then there's
like 3 people in the bushes outside.
when they do the switch from day to night.
Yeah.
When they do that,
Yeah.
there's a bunch
Ton
of
of them.
naked
Yeah.
people all
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the house. Yeah.
But I mean, like when
Are there
Inside,
really?
Yeah.
You didn't notice that?
I did not notice
Yeah.
that.
And they go.
Yeah, just the day to night, the switch, and the camera also shifts
I don't ever
just
remember
a little bit
seeing
too.
that in another movie. Do you ever remember seeing like what they that crazy
Um,
time shift?
no,
Yeah.
but I'm sure I've seen something. Yeah, but the house, it seemed like let's say it's centered, but then the next shot when it goes to night, it looked like it shifted just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because now all these naked people are the seance is going to happen, but
All those penises push the camera.
so
just a little bit.
so much genitals. But so the guy in the closet, which said there's 3 in the attic.
3 in the attic, 1 in the closet, and Toni.
Because I thought that when he goes up in the attic, closes it, I thought I saw 2 in the background when he like initially first came up.
It was 2 old people
Yeah.
and a younger girl,
Younger girl.
I think, or mid-30s.
Okay. And when Joan. So did she not age? Because it seemed like when Toni Collette was going through those pictures,
She looks the same.
Yeah, she looked the same throughout the years.
Yeah.
I don't know. The mom looked just white.
Some of them she did. Some of them, but I thought even the earlier photos of her, it looked like it. But I could be mistaken. I didn't rewind it or anything like that. The only times I would ever pause occasionally is because I was watching it on my computer through Amazon. And really quick, I'm sorry everybody, this wasn't free anywhere unless you have because we thought this was on Prime.
Wow, Brandon,
and it was
really
not.
dropped the ball this
I know.
time.
So if you saw this movie or have seen it before, if you watch it through Amazon, you have to get the Showtime 7-day trial or pay for it, unless you did like Luis did, which is very, very smart. Yeah. He uses VPN.
Yeah.
And he uses VPN in Canada. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network.
Are we advertising?
Yeah, our sponsor for today is Bitdefender.
Oh, all right.
And they have their huge 7,000 locations for their VPN.
Just type in Spectacular at the checkout. No,
yeah.
10% off.
10% off for a year. But, so sorry if you weren't able to watch it, but just take our word for it. This movie's fucked up at times.
Yep.
But, okay. And then any points that we could talk about, any things of interest to you guys, anything that you wrote notes for, of interest.
After the funeral, before they step into the house, you could hear footsteps inside of the house. If you put the volume high enough, you can hear boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
you know what? I might have heard that when they first walk back in, and she's like, "Do we take off the shoes?"
Yeah, that part.
I might have, because I was listening initially with headphones too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For sure.
I picked up a lot of things because I like to watch a movie, just watch it through. Brandon yells at me for this, but watch it through and then put it on again just to have like in the background while I'm doing like my research. So if I catch anything, I can look it up. And I don't know why I did, but I happened to turn on the captions.
Yeah.
So I picked up a lot of little things. Even after, so the way Charlie dies is...
You mean the decapitation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Peter's going to a party.
Having an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
Because he wants to meet that girl.
He knows her already. He just wants to...
meet up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's looking at her butt, right?
In class.
When she's wearing jeans, what are you looking at on that? Like, she's in a seat.
But he's a guy. He's imagining it.
That's no excuse. He's a creep. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so he wants to go to the party. He wants to borrow one of the cars. So mom's like, okay, you have to go, but you have to bring your sister. So they go to the party. Little earlier in the movie, Charlie's eating some candy. And it's like, oh, are there any nuts in there? Because she can't, she's allergic to nuts. So they just kind of put that in there.
Yeah.
So they go to the party. He wants to go have some smoke with the girl. Yeah. So he's like, hey, Charlie, just go eat some of that cake right there. And earlier they showed like there's nuts. Yeah. Right. What was my point?
I don't know. You're saying it.
The chocolate cake?
Oh my God. What was the point I was trying to make?
Chocolate cake?
God damn it. No, I totally forgot.
I thought you were reading off of notes you have or something.
I thought I was too.
You're such an imbecile.
Oh my God. Where was I going with that?
So something that I noticed too, as they go to the dollhouse at the beginning of the movie, the aspect ratio changed too.
Oh.
It looked like a 4:3, and then right as it got to the dollhouse, I saw it go into maybe a 2.4.1, maybe.
Huh.
Maybe a little bit wider than that. But I feel like it did. Because I think that's the only part that I actually rewound. I was like, wait. Because it's not that stuff always catches my eye, but I think it's just because I saw more. But I could be mistaken.
I didn't notice.
Okay, I just remembered.
Okay.
So anyway, she goes into anaphylactic shock. He's trying to get her back. She puts her head out the car window just because she's trying to get some air. Mm-hmm. And he swerves because there's a deer in the road.
Or whatever that was. Yeah, goat. Yeah, whatever.
She hits her head on the telephone pole and then decapitates her.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's in shock. When he's going home, and he just goes into the house without telling anybody. The captions brought up that Annie and Steve.
Oh, I heard them talk like they're okay. They're home.
Which I had never heard the first time. I was like, oh, good. I'm glad they're home.
Yeah.
Oh, but I wouldn't have noticed unless I put on the captions. So.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's like she's like, go to sleep, or like you can go to sleep. They're home, but then he got in the bed. That motherfucker had to have been sweating a ton. I can't lay in bed knowing that I'm sweaty and sticky. Like I can't. Now, if I got in the bed clean and then I got sweaty because it's a hot night, different. But getting into bed like dirty like that?
Yeah, no.
Like I need my bed to feel cold. I don't want my armpitties or my leg pits to get stuck together as I'm in bed.
Well, because I think each of the family members like represent like a different style of trauma or grief or something like that. Okay. So he's like just shock and silence because after the murder, like he's just
shuts
dead
down.
inside,
Yeah.
right? He shuts down. The dad, Steve, he's sad. Right, so like I think
he's
there's
a psychiatrist.
Yeah, well, maybe he's more in touch with his emotions then, I guess.
Okay.
Because I think I think once or twice he's like, goes into her room, looks through her stuff, and he's like crying a little bit, holding her thing. And then Toni Collette is just
extreme,
fucking just rage.
Well,
I don't know how to describe it, but
what did she say before that like her mom and her obviously had not a good relationship, but like, oh no, I'm thinking of when she had the kids. She didn't want what's his name in the movie? Alex
Peter.
Wolff? Peter. She didn't want Peter. She did everything she could for him to die. Like,
he's walking around with cigarettes and a beer.
Yeah, and
like,
fell down some stairs.
Yeah.
Like just
instead of going up those, I think I'm gonna fall down those stairs.
Yeah,
and that's why they didn't. What do you call it? They couldn't put the demon inside of Peter initially.
I thought it was because Toni Collette didn't let the mom.
That's why.
Didn't let the mom near him. It's only when they had Charlie.
That's when.
See, that's the other thing too. So I thought, what's the demon's name?
Paimon.
Ponyo. Like the animated movie Ponyo. How is it? Paimon. So they put it in Charlie. Mm-hmm. But I thought I read when Toni Collette's going through the book, they could only go into a male. No,
that he prefers a male vessel, I think.
So then if he was...
Well, they have to put Charlie into Peter's body, and then so Paimon can inhabit that body.
Yeah.
So then when Toni Collette and they were having that seance, and then Charlie was in her body for a second, which that scene alone, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's frightening. To not only is her if I was in that experience, my mom's voice changes, and then saying the shit she's saying, like obviously the way Peter reacted, I mean, 100%, that would be my response too. But what hit the glass behind them? Was it that glass bottle that was on the table? Because remember, like they stopped for a second, like so something hit and they turn around. And he's like, "Dad," and then
that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what hit it. Something hit that glass,
and.
But that assumably was Charlie and Toni Collette, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what Joan wanted her to do.
Or it was Paimon pretending to be so he can, like who knows?
Yeah.
But usually you could tell when it's Paimon because you see that little blue light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The shimmer.
Yeah.
Because then... So he didn't possess a Peter until the end, after he basically died.
Yeah.
And you would assume that he did die falling out of that window?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could see like a little shadow.
Yeah, the light go to him, like the shimmer goes into...
But before that, there's a shadow that comes out of him.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie's fucked.
Come on, man.
But he fell into soil.
Yeah.
Soil's relatively soft.
He could have
But
survived
he
it.
went through broken glass.
Yeah.
So?
Or he had to jump through glass.
You can jump through glass and survive.
Maybe it's like Star Wars, like when Padme, she loses the will to live.
She loses her... Yeah. I mean...
Died of sadness.
Yeah, she died because her fucking husband is a piece of shit. So miniatures, going back to miniatures, I said it earlier. Yeah, they creep me out. Yeah. Like I said, clowns and stuff. I don't know if you guys have that same... There's just something... Well, maybe it's just the way Toni Collette was making. Just obviously not the most ideal things to make as miniatures. Your fucking daughter getting decapitated. The mom breastfeeding and the mom trying to give her some of her old lady titty.
And that's another thing that they with the miniatures, they're foretelling everything.
I'm just trying to move. I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
They're telling you the past, the present, and the future.
Right.
Through the miniatures. They don't have to tell you anything. It just
I don't like it.
right there on display. You want another chair?
No, it's too late now.
Well, because if you think about it, like the ultimate end of the movie with Paimon, with the crown, with everyone kneeling before him, like that's the miniature that Charlie has in her bedroom. Like, remember she cuts off the head of the bird. She has it with the crown.
Joan ends up putting it in her apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff she still exactly 100%.
Yeah.
So do you think? And that was the one. Oh yeah. So that was what Charlie was making too with the pigeon head. Which when she cut out the pigeon head. And she looked, and the old lady like gave her that little wave. I was like, "Fuck, man! If I was Charlie, because assumably, Ponyo was already he was already inside of her, correct?
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
So does that mean that he's been in there since the beginning?
Well, that's the thing. Like, this has all been set in motion,
right?
Since before,
I think
they were born.
I think this is the biggest confusion I had.
So when you remember those pictures where the grandma's breast or bottle feeding her, and when Toni Collette goes into Joan's house, she gives her like some tea, and there's like she gets like a tea leaf. So what I was reading is that that's supposed to be like a way of inviting the demon.
Oh, by
it's kind of like a
tea?
spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because then obviously, okay, wait, because that's the thing. This is the part that the only thing that really confused me about this whole movie.
Yeah.
Was that I was under the assumption by the end of the movie that the demon Paimon was in Charlie, but then he went into Toni Collette, and then he went into Peter last.
I think that's his ultimate destination.
It would have been Peter because he was. But since Toni Collette didn't let the grandma access to him until they're older, because Charlie was 13 and he's supposed to be 16, which isn't a big gap. Like that's why obviously they're in the same school together, I imagine. But like, if he was in Charlie, couldn't he already make her do shit? Like if you're possessed, because like look what he did with Toni Collette, making the bitch fly, cutting off her head, and still moving around and stuff like that. So how come he couldn't do this shit to Charlie?
Well,
if he was possessed,
I mean, it's pretty early in the movie, and she dies. So,
but all those years before that,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I think maybe Charlie was never possessed. And she got decapitated, so they couldn't do it with her.
But she also doesn't seem shocked whenever she sees, for example, the old lady with the fire, and then the
lady waving at her from across the street.
Yeah, she
just
I don't know. It's
hi.
like kind of normal.
And she wanted to always be around grandma though. Like she's like saying to Toni, like you're not grandma, and
that's another thing too. When in that scene when she tells her who's going to take care of me. There's I don't know if you noticed the words on the walls.
Yeah,
Zoltan.
Zoltan. What was that from?
Toni.
Dude, where's my car? Zoltan. Okay, so Toni. Yeah, you see those throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys want to look it up, there's a video up on YouTube. Some dude explains it. I don't know.
Wait, there's an explainer video on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the words. There's only one video on that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So, well,
as soon as one goes up for one movie, you
can't tell us this and not tell us what it fucking means.
Something.
So I thought you actually did research, and so I'm very disappointed in you, Luis.
Yeah.
But no, it's
no, it was like inviting pandemonium, which is like entrance into hell or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's
the last two. I think there was two words at
towards
the end where there was two words, and one of them was pandemonium.
Yeah.
And even Toni Collette was putting them on the wall.
Yeah.
When she was
the miniature.
I mean, she just likes her detail.
Yeah.
But she destroyed all of her miniatures, right? That's what she did. So, and then what's the other thing? So she's a miniaturist person. Like she does those as like an exhibit.
Artist,
yeah. Is that what miniaturist?
I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, let's call it miniaturist. So she had an event that she was
miniaturizer.
That she was supposed to submit to, and so that's why she had her post-it note like keep working, do this. But then they called her because, right? She's supposed to submit it to them. Like she.
Well, I mean, she has an end date that they want to open up the show.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, we want to just see, where you're at progress-wise and see how much time you need.
Right. And then she's like, oh, we're not going to judge, like showing us. But then she destroyed everything because she's having a mental breakdown.
Well, that's the end of the movie. Like, no one's going anywhere after that.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, it
I'd
doesn't
still
really
like to have
matter.
an art exhibit, like if I'm getting paid. But other than that, I mean, I have no other notes. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Luis.
During the class scenes, they're always telling you what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Heracles, what's the other thing? Agamemnon or whatever.
Agamemnon.
He's a king, right? And they had no choice. They were bound to tragedy pretty much in the end.
Trying to beat the Trojans, so they had to sacrifice their daughter.
Yeah.
That's a good way to beat the Trojans. You sacrifice your daughter?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go into it, but like that's it's like oh, you didn't watch Game of Thrones? Remember Game of Thrones?
I remember it. I remember how people didn't like the final season.
Baratheon, what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name.
Baratheon.
Stannis.
Oh, all right.
Sacrifices his daughter.
Yeah.
On the fire, to the god. Remember?
Yeah.
See?
Oh, that's
it's
what
a
you
way
mean
to
by
win
sacrifice.
wars, bro.
Okay, no, I thought she just meant sacrifice. Like they just, all right, hey, sorry, honey, and that's it. Like, okay, so this is my tribute to you, Luis, the Trojan army leader. I killed my daughter for you. But no, you're saying like you sacrificed for the gods to
defeat the Trojans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. So that's.
But
stupidity.
In this case, it's sacrificing to open up the gates of hell or whatever.
Yeah. And so, Grandma dies. Mm-hmm. They desecrate her grave, take her out, take off her head, and they leave her dead body up in
Grandma's head.
That I don't remember seeing that.
Okay.
Unless because the head on the person in the treehouse, that was Charlie's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what Grandma's was.
And that necklace, it's 3 heads. If you look at it upside down, those are 3 heads.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get Toni Collette, you get Grandma, and Charlie.
Yeah.
So where was Grandma's head though? And then also her body was just becoming decayed and gangrenous.
That's why there are all the flies and everything.
Yeah. And what were you gonna say?
The Charlie cutting off the bird's head. It was foreshadowing her decapitation.
Would that foreshadow her?
I think so.
Okay.
No?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, she cuts off the poor pigeon.
Who does that?
Fucking, I guess Ponyo demons do that. I'm always gonna say Ponyo because I can't.
Pokemon.
Paymon.
Paymon. Think of Digimon.
There's a part where you see Peter go to Charlie's room. That her room is straight upstairs. Okay. Like you walk up, the room's right there. From my understanding, like feng shui wise, that's not good, but also bad luck wise, that's not good. Like you're not supposed to have a room directly right up on the top of stairs. Huh. Like just based on, because like it's just not good. That's what I thought I had read before in something. So like that can kind of make sense for her room to be bad luck, because it's now granted it's not the main stairs of the house. It's like the secondary stairs to go, but. From my understanding, no matter how many stairs it is, just if it leads to a room and nothing else, it's a bad thing. Like, that's why there shouldn't be, like, a bathroom or something like that. That's fine. But a bedroom, you don't want to have a bedroom.
Huh. And what culture?
All of them.
All right.
Yeah. Thinking of feng shui really quick, did you guys ever see Anne Hathaway, the Princess Diary? No. Princess Diaries. Okay. There's a part in that movie. I've only seen parts of that movie, mind you.
Sure.
But there's a part where they're at their school, and there's an announcement that goes over the PA, and it's like, "Can the feng shui students please stop moving the furniture in the?" And I laughed so hard because it's just something that you wouldn't really pay attention to, but and that's the only part I remember from the movie. Besides Anne Hathaway becoming a fox, and then I saw Havoc, and I was like, "Well, Anne Hathaway," but. There's many aspects of this movie that were amazing. Cinematography, all the pull-ins, the acting, and again, Toni Collette, as we've already discussed. There's not a lot of Gabriel Byrne's for me to really critique. But like, I don't think I've seen anything with him being a bad actor. But Alex Wolff, this was the first movie I ever saw of him. And since then, he's done, I think, one other horror movie, hasn't he?
I think he's in Old. The new one.
He is. He absolutely is.
Yeah.
He's in Jumanji as well. The newer Jumanji, not the original Robin Williams.
What does he get possessed by in that one?
He gets possessed by Dwayne Johnson.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he becomes Dwayne Johnson. And then his friend, who was the bigger guy, he becomes Kevin Hart. And then the nerdy girl, not nerdy, but just like the antisocial girl becomes... What's her name?
Karen Gillian?
Yeah. Karen. Did you see the trailer for Dynamite or... Dynamite Milkshake?
No.
She isn't. It's like a bunch of women
assassins, right?
Yeah, a bunch of women assassins and stuff like that. And
she's on HBO.
No, it's on Netflix.
Damn it!
Original.
You have it. What do you mean? Damn it! you have everything.
Yeah, but
you
I
have
love
Amazon.
Okay.
So was there anything about this movie that neither of you liked?
I think I loved it all. Like I said, like the whole. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
No, you go.
I just didn't
So
like.
he just goes. I thought it'd be like a courteous back and forth.
That scene where she's trying to convince her husband to burn the
book.
The book.
Oh, yeah.
Near the end.
I'm like, dude, why? Like, I mean,
well, she wants to
obviously,
sacrifice herself.
No, I know, but it's like he was already convinced to not go along with whatever she was trying to do, you know, and it's, I don't know, to me it seems kind of like forced, like they want to push it down your throat.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That was the only thing.
So one thing that it's not bad, but it's just uncomfortable to see, is when after Charlie dies.
She doesn't die. She gets killed. There's a difference.
Okay, well, after her head falls
She gets
off.
moitered.
She gets dead.
She gets dead.
Toni Collette just wailing in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, this hurts too much. Just kill him. Like, oh my,
Yeah.
like that's probably next to like, the head that's being sawed off and stuff like that. It's like the hardest thing to watch in this movie.
Yeah.
But so that's something you didn't like, or
No, you
is,
liked
is
it.
it?
Oh, it's just hard. I mean, do you like seeing stuff like that?
Granted.
It was
It's
good.
like it's hard to watch.
I mean, it was good. It was a good performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, really hard to watch.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's talking to them like, yeah, there it is. Yeah. I think the parts that actually, there wasn't really multiple parts that I didn't like. It was just something that stood out that was just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. It was just the old people, like how she's like lurking on Charlie like across the street. Like that part just completely creeped me. I know that's the point of it.
Yeah.
But that part I was kind of like, ugh. Like it just...
When they're naked?
That I was okay with. I'm okay with full frontal.
Yeah.
Like show me the genitals, please. And I like to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Skin tones, but it's all in the shades. I couldn't really distinguish.
Yeah.
But I do like that the guy creepily smiling in the closet also had the tattoo on his chest too.
What did it say?
It said, "She who shall not be named." I got nothing. Did it actually say something?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you had
I didn't
trivia or
notice.
something. Okay.
I was looking at something else.
The guy that called, that was like the person that was Toni Collette's like, hey, we're just calling to see what's going on. That was actually the director. Yeah, it was his voice. Yeah. The only reason why I know that is because I moved my mouse on my computer and the Amazon X-ray came up and it's like, oh, that's him that called. I was like, oh, okay. So he got probably a little extra bump on his pay cut because he's actually in the movie. Wow. That means he actually technically has to get. I think he might have to get a. Oh no! If he's not credited, it doesn't matter.
Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah,
thing.
If he's not credited, then it doesn't matter. But like Ben Stiller in Happy Gilmore, he wasn't credited, so he didn't get paid, but he did it as a favor to Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
that's a big role too.
Yeah, you remember that role a lot, right? It's very brief. But can I trouble you for a glass of warm water? You trouble me for a glass. Shut the hell up! Like, and the mustache is really what sells the whole thing.
What do you guys think of Peter's reaction after the whole incident happens with Charlie?
That's understandable.
Do you think, would you have reacted the same way, driven off, left the head, and gone, let your mom, find the body?
So that reminded me of something that I thought about.
Yeah.
The other day. I think it was because of Reddit. It's the
we all use Reddit here, everybody.
Yep.
We all utilize Reddit.
The unpopular opinion subreddit.
Yeah.
Which isn't really that. Most of the time, it's not. Mm-hmm. And there's sometimes one person put an actual unpopular opinion. But it reminded me of that because I have a actual unpopular opinion, and his situation reminds me of that. I don't think we can really blame people that much. I mean, some of the blame for how they react after an accident like that.
No.
Like somebody dies.
Because it's traumatic.
Right. Shock.
I mean, traumatic in that there's a person dead. And it's traumatic for the person who did the acting, they're in shock.
Yeah.
The point of shock is you lose all control of your mind's not working right, anything like that.
Stop all motor functions. So
I almost feel it's hard to say, you don't want to feel sorry for them, but you kind of do, people who drive off after an accident.
Yeah, you freak out.
They're freaking out. They're not thinking coherently. So people are fucking get the fuck out of their car, and they're smashing windows some guy's trying to freak out and just get away or something late or something that. So, I mean, you have to you have to atone for your sins.
Yeah.
You're going to go, hopefully after some time, pass, you'll turn yourself into the police and that sort of stuff.
Because you're going to get got.
Because you're going to get got.
Yeah.
And in that case, you have to suffer the consequences for what you did. Especially if you're drunk driving, you're Fucksville. No matter any way you slice it. But you almost have to have sympathy, which is kind of what you have for him. He's in such shock. That's the only place. Get home.
Even that scene lasted a long time.
Yeah.
When it happened and there's just cameras on him. That's 2 minutes of just him calming, sort of, and then he just goes. And
he was hesitating to look at the rearview mirror too, until he's in class and he kind of imagines it, you know. Yeah.
What Mike's saying too, I wouldn't necessarily blame somebody in that instance, but at the same time, I would blame them just because.
That's the thing. They don't deserve all the sympathy, but you have to understand the state they're in.
How many hours went by from him driving away and then Toni Collette getting into the car?
You killed a family member.
Yeah, I'd say 11 o'clock at night till 8 the next morning.
If he would have done it by 8, I would have been cool with it, but it's 8:05. Let's get that motherfucker.
It's 8:06 and I got to get to work. I'm going to be late. But to be in that much shock, it's I get it. Because you don't know you might not know what to do. And you just literally decapitated your fucking sister. But she was also there. Granted, because the mom was kind of forcing it, but at the same time, you want to just be alone with this girl, potentially alone, and you got to be that bigger brother to look after her, and obviously she's having an allergic reaction to some nuts, and
because you can see how much he cares for her, when he's running out the party and she's in his arms, it's his sister. He cares about his sister. Yeah. He's trying to rescue her, and just the event
Do you think that goat was there on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you noticed when they were driving to the party, the necklace, that symbol that's everywhere.
Yeah,
it was on the post.
It's Paimon. That's his symbol, whatever.
Yeah, it was on the post.
So then how did the goat die?
Well, I think kind of like what you were saying, them in school, it talks about, it just goes through each point of the movie. So when they're talking about the first time they're in class, they're talking about Hercules going to
Are
the
you saying
oracle.
Hercules or Hercules?
Well, his original name is that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Heracles.
Heracles.
Heracles. Sorry,
But
I said it wrong.
it's Hercules.
It's Hercules.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're all discussing like, their fatal flaw. They don't see what's happening right in front of them, and then there's like that voice over the girl. I think I wrote down what she said. She says,
Hey, don't do that.
is it more tragic that they know what's happening and there's nothing they can do about it, or is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah, it's more tragic because it's fate and there's nothing they could do about it anyway, even if they had.
Would you even say
free will?
the fate of the furious?
Yeah, the fate of the furious.
Family.
Well, it's the same thing with the miniatures, Like
Yeah.
it's like they're being
It's
whole family's
controlled.
being
It's
puppeted,
manipulated.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's literally years
Yeah.
of the mother and the cult. I'm sorry, the grandmother and the cult
Yeah.
planning this entire thing. Like it's Toni Collette, like moving the figurines inside the miniatures. Like,
Yeah.
they're essentially that's the entire family is being manipulated for years and years.
And
years.
regardless, they were still gonna end up the way they did.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. Possessed.
Why did they keep the fucking car?
I don't know.
That was a Subaru, I think.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was a Volvo.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? Maybe they didn't. Actually, now that I look at it, so they drove the Volvo to the party, and that was like it was like a bluer, like square rectangular one. But then later you see Toni Collette waiting in like another Volvo, but that was a different model.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, maybe they did get rid of it.
Hmm.
Because it was more of a square, older model Volvo, and then the other one she's driving later is a newer model. But I mean, if that happened to my child, I mean, that car's I'm gonna burn it, and then make it into cube, and then leave, burn that cube. Like I would not want that to ever be around me.
Yeah.
But it's time. They don't establish how long it really had been after the. Did they say a week? Maybe not. But like, I feel like if I lost my child, and I would take me a fucking long while to really get over that fact.
Well,
But
she never gets over the fact.
right, but I'm just saying yes, she's bummed and she's upset and she's sad and all that stuff, but like it just seems like I don't know, that what the fuck was the dad's actual name? Steve just seems again, he's a psychiatrist, so maybe he's just dealing with his grief a little bit better.
He tells her earlier because remember, even just for the mom's death.
Yeah.
He's like, should I be sadder? She says that.
Yeah,
He's
she
like,
said
you
it,
should
yeah.
feel however you want to feel. Like there's no timeline or anything how you're supposed to.
Very
supposed to feel. And
philosophical.
that's what's
And when they make the phone call about the body missing, he doesn't want to tell her because it's adding more to it,
Sure.
Yeah.
Although, so you find out obviously you find out at that point that the body was taken, but then later he gets that email. I thought there'd be a little more to it because it was the insurance people saying like, hey, like here's some pictures.
Yeah.
But obviously it was just her cult people taking her body.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Right. But was the insurance thing, that's just them doing their due diligence of hey, are they gonna pay? Like, is that...
I mean, they might have just said desecrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're definitely
desecrated.
okay.
So now he knows, like, oh, they dug that whole body up and
Took
it's
it.
gone.
And it was a clean dig too.
Once again,
Yeah.
Brandon getting bogged down in tiny details.
I'd like to know.
Like,
I
who
wanna know
cares what the
outcome.
insurance company-
Are they going to pay him out?
We need to talk to
Are they
Flo
gonna send
because
him
we
a
really
check?
need to know
They
what's
get a-
happening.
It's called a bundle, Mike. If you didn't know, it's called a bundle.
They get an
Okay.
extra space for the future for
There you go.
another
Yeah.
family
Exactly.
member,
We could put. Hey, this one's
You just
used.
dump them all
So
in
this one's
there.
half off, but it's a good location,
You
prime
get
spot.
under the tree.
You get the shade. So
Actually, here's a minor thing for you. I actually didn't know where the hell they were for most of the movie because it's like,
Minnesota or something like that. Was it?
well, it's when I looked it up, it's supposed to be set in Utah.
Yeah.
But like, they're like, okay, their house is in the woods, and then she goes to this-
woods.
and then she goes to the market. It looks like it's fucking San Bernardino, like right down the street because it's like grasslands. I'm like, where the hell are they? Where they're just
Yeah.
driving distance.
Probably
between
takes her
these two
45 minutes just to
Yeah.
get to that mom and pa. What is it? Earl's Chuck and Seed. What was the Simpsons thing? The formerly Chuck's. Fuck that. That was a good joke for the Simpsons. The part where
things.
Toni.
Sneed, feed, and seed.
Yeah.
Formerly Chuck's.
Yeah.
Sucks
Chuck's,
and fucks.
yeah.
You can assume that's what it meant. Simpsons jokes, everybody.
When Toni Collette is screaming and it's in silence, that made me think of The Shining. When Tommy, Andy was screaming in The Shining, but he was like, he saw The Shining or something. He saw the dad kill the caretaker or something like that, and he was just screaming, but it was in silence. That just made me think of that. I don't know if you guys would. Maybe I'm just a better movie person than both of you.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Assumably, maybe not Mike. Still, Luis. I don't know. You like watch a lot of watch. Wow, I can't even speak.
Okay.
Watch a lot of. You watch a lot of
really
horror.
affected you.
Yeah. There was also a lot of wonders in this movie.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Not super long, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but like a good amount. You know, as the camera's moving, it's not just a static shot too. And cinematography in this was great. A lot of technical aspects of the movie that were great. But something that I didn't notice in the theater, which I told Mike on the way over here, Luis, because it was fucking an hour and a half to get here. It wasn't that long. But when they were telling, I think I might have said to you earlier, when the woman Joan was telling Peter to leave, to get out. So you had said, I think earlier, that was her way of telling him to get out of the body. Or is that when are you saying that?
She's expelling his spirit from his own.
But she's just telling him get out. Like she's not saying like.
No, she's saying like,
no. Well, I mean,
whatever,
as
right?
our physical body, he was just looking at her like, who the heck is this lady, you know? But then I guess spiritually, he was telling his spirit to get out of the body. So I guess Paimon.
Ponyo
could
get in there.
Yeah.
So at the end of this movie, he dies. Ponyo goes in there.
Paimon.
But then who's possessing Toni Collette now?
She's headless.
Well, okay.
Here's the thing.
That's more of a riddle. Like, so if Ponyo's in him, who's controlling her now?
But the Paimon has I don't know if I saw like this whole YouTube thing.
That noise, don't worry about the noise, everybody. It's just a saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Luis is doing work here at his house.
Yeah.
He's been flexing on Mike and I all day with his beautiful home.
I don't know what that is.
The vacuum.
Sounds like a vacuum, actually. Yeah.
You want to pause it?
No, I mean, it's done, yeah. So we'll go through it, yeah.
All right.
We've already gone so far.
Cool.
Okay, so, no, just go ahead. It's fine. You can hear a little bit of it.
One of his abilities is he's able to reanimate bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer my question.
He reanimated her body.
But if he's in the kid, if he's in Pete, how's he doing that?
He's a powerful demon
So he can
beast.
be inside of me.
Okay. Yeah.
But I could still make both of you levitate. And float away.
Yeah.
I don't
but
like.
They were
I
dead.
want rules to this. I want rules to demons, and I want their powers to be explained to me. Like, what the fuck?
You need it laid out flat and easy.
I need it written, and I need it in some kind of biblical form too, so that way all knows. Like I do get bogged down on the little things, Luis, easily.
Yeah.
And like I think of the other people.
Exhibit A.
I think of the collateral
Exhibit
damage of things. So like, okay, all those kids saw Peter freak out in the class.
Yeah.
What kind of therapy are those motherfuckers? Do you see the one kid with his phone out too? He had his like everybody was like freaking out, like 10, 15 feet away, and there's the one kid with his camera, like his phone, recording. I was like, what a fucking.
There's always gonna be that kid.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Put on World Star.
But you saw how he was doing that whole wrist thing or whatever with his messed up face. That's one of the figures in actual real life how they perceived him. Yeah, the whole wrist thing,
So he wasn't shooting a jump shot. He wasn't like Kobe.
No,
Kobe. Okay, he wasn't shooting that. Okay.
Jumping on the 1 foot as he steps back.
Yeah, he's doing a Dirk. Yeah. Which I might say, shout out to the Bucks for beating the Phoenix Suns. Thank you for beating the Phoenix Suns because the Phoenix Suns beat the Lakers. This movie was fucked up, but like not really the whole movie, just near the end. Yeah, the final 30 minutes was like the most fucked up shit.
Well, it's a family
Friendly
drama.
Oh. Well,
for the most part.
Sure.
Not drama, just
I think
tragedy. Is that
Tragedy's
a tragedy?
a good one.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
I think the dad kept his composure pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
Until the end when he was driving and he almost missed that stoplight.
Oh yeah.
He starts
crying. Yeah.
That's his breaking point.
Well, like, and even then, Toni Collette caused his death.
Yeah, that sucks.
And like that sucks because he's trying to like, hey, like keep your shit together and also be there for Peter. So, would you guys recommend this movie? Would you guys say this is? I know you said it's your favorite movie of 2018. Yeah. So
watching it again, it didn't have like the same atmosphere.
Of course.
It's, like I said, it was just the whole being in the theater and everyone experiencing it together like that. That's what really set the tone for me.
Yeah.
It's funny to the point where like I had bought it and I still hadn't
you
even
bought
watched
the movie.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Me too.
That
4K?
4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And I haven't even watched it for a long time because I was like, afraid to see it again. I was like, oh man, I don't think it's gonna have the same effect. But obviously it didn't because it can't. Because it's not the same. But I still enjoyed it. Like I can put it on. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's a good family movie.
Yeah, like
it's the thing about horror movies to me though is once you watch it once, like you're saying now, you're gonna remember it. I mean, any movie really, if you think about it. But like, it just horror movies for some reason stand out a little more to me because a lot of times there's like a twist to it, or there's such things you remember because they're so violent and bloody that okay, but it was still enjoyable the second time. I still kind of like I would tense up at certain scenes because I forgot that Toni Collette chased him.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I thought I didn't know she was that close.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Like I know she chased, but like I didn't know. She
I remember her
grabbed.
in the corner of the because he does like these low shots and you can see what's happening on the roof.
Yeah,
or the ceiling. Sorry.
Yeah, ceiling.
And there's her or who else is in it? Oh, it's her both times, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
She's in his room, and then later she's in the living room, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Both times on the
mouthing
roof,
from
and
my
then
head.
on the corner, she comes out of nowhere, like running.
Yeah. So that part, I was like, oh, like
that was a good. That still worked on me. I had forgot that part.
Like it made me cringe in a sense.
And the thing is that they're showing you, you know, and it still scares you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was the fun in the theater.
Yeah.
Because it took everyone. You know, when he wakes up from his dream or whatever, and he lays back down, and like you can barely make out her figure like in that corner, and it takes everyone like however much time it takes them to.
What?
When he's in his bedroom?
Yeah. Is this near the end of the movie?
Yeah, near the end. I think she had already burned, or Gabriel Byrne had already caught fire. And she goes,
Gabriel Byrne?
oh my God. And then Paimon takes over.
Yeah.
And then does he wake up from a bad dream or something like that?
I think he just wakes up.
Yeah, he sits up and then lays back down or whatever. And then
I don't remember him laying back down.
No, he had that busted nose thing. Remember?
Yeah, I thought he just got up.
He woke up from whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, he's just still in the bed.
Yeah, you see her.
You see her.
It seemed like too when he first got up, it was darker in the back, and then it cuts to like an insert shot of seeing the treehouse, and when it comes back, it's a lot lighter on her.
And you can
so if you didn't see it the first time, you fucking better see it that second time.
I don't even think I saw it the first time then.
I think when you see the grandma that first time too, is that like? Do you think that's Toni Collette's just her mind's playing tricks on her, or is that that them just?
I don't know.
And then she was smiling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Did she start shaking her head? It looked like she's going like,
Oh, I don't know.
It looked like it, and actually, I think I rewound on that part too because I was kind of.
I think that's one of his like his tropes or Ari's like either bright or smiling or happy or upbeat music in like inappropriate spots that leads to that uneasiness. So like Midsummer is supposed to be scary. It's just bright sunshine all the time, right? And this one, creepy person in the corner, but they're like big smile on their face, creepy naked dude smile on his face.
I wouldn't say he's creepy.
The ending music when Peter finally goes up into there, like it's like victorious, triumphant.
But that's the thing. Another thing that they explain about the demon is that it's supposed to what do you call it? He was supposed to be received with trumpets.
Yeah.
So they say.
It makes sense. I can even look up what chord it was. Probably like a G major, just like.
You can say anything like that, and I'll say G major. I don't know shit about.
But music. Like, I mean, technically the movie ends on a bummer, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like
uplifting,
victorious. Like, they did it.
They're together. Yeah.
It took
Congratulations, Colt. You did
40
it.
years, but you finally put it all together.
Yeah. So the whole thing, just to reiterate on that,
was
planned by Grandma and Colt. It should have been Peter from the beginning.
Yeah.
But since they didn't
like they're saying when they're in the classroom, like the girl says over, it's more tragic. They never had hope. They're pawns in this hopeless, this whole web or whatever that they're leading.
And that's why she left that note for her daughter. Like you don't understand
when she first
now.
read it. Yeah.
Like
even that had been written a long time ago, right? Yeah, like when she was young.
Even the shots themselves, like I don't know why I just thought about this, but when that little shimmer goes through the bedroom when Charlie's in there and she's drawing whatever, and then she goes outside, starts to walk to the lady in the fire.
Yeah.
Like that shot from overhead, like you can see like deep footprints in the mud. Mm-hmm. So like this path had been laid, like that's at least how I saw it. Like this path had been laid out.
And
for
there
years.
Actually, I don't remember seeing. Yeah, I remember seeing those footprints.
Yeah,
and I didn't. There was no.
But like that's just how I think. Like, oh, they're walking them like cattle.
Yeah, and they were watching them the whole time because even I don't remember in the first scene when they not in the first scene but when they show Peter and he's smoking a bowl in his room.
You see breath.
Someone's watching him.
I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't know if that was Charlie and her
treehouse.
Yeah. But then thinking about it, how was she? There's no windows facing his. There's that ceiling window, but not anything else. But I remember seeing that too. Yeah. I don't remember seeing that the first time I saw it.
So they were always being watched.
Someone had said, or at least I read somewhere, and I didn't pay attention, but one of the buddies where they're smoking underneath the bleachers. One of the buddies is at the end.
Oh yeah, he's bowing down.
He's one of the bowers.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Like they're just like literally like there's just been
I didn't see that.
cultivating this thing for
Which
years.
one was Which one was
It's
he?
the dude with the long hair,
with like a man bun or something like that.
brown skin.
The one that was his direct, like, to hold my hand.
Yeah, no.
I
It
think
was
catty
one
corner.
right across
Okay.
him. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that because I know they kind of.
I didn't notice it. I just read it. I'm like,
So-
okay.
They focus on that woman too. It seemed like when they're in the treehouse, there's that woman that was bowing her head. It seemed like there's a lot of shots of her. I was like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
But then they didn't actually. I thought it seemed like they did.
With the bangs? Or whatever
She
weird
had
hair?
like brownish hair. It's kind of wavy.
That wasn't Joan.
No,
Like,
Joan was wearing like a white robe
Oh, okay.
at the end.
Was she bowing?
Yeah.
So it might have been her then.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Well,
watch it again.
no, Joan Crowns.
Yeah, she was wearing a robe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You think we would know?
That
we think
other-
we know. We watched it combined 6 times in the past 48
other-
hours.
That,
I still can't remember.
That other lady. You mean the lady that was waving to Charlie?
Oh,
Is that her? I guess
yeah,
it
with the
been
light
her.
hair.
I guess it could have been her.
That
Yeah.
could have been her.
It just seemed like there was many shots where they just really emphasized that woman.
Yeah.
But then you don't actually see her face because her hair was covering it a little
Yeah.
bit. But
Like I'm saying, like they're literally just little figures in her little miniatures. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
all a metaphor for just being controlled, and like there's nothing they can do.
Control.
Like this is
Yeah.
control.
other than Ellen, that's her name, the mom. Other than her first son killing himself because he didn't want to be.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember
that's
she said that.
right.
Yeah, like
I remember
he
his
said,
they're
name
filling
is
in
his
with
name
his
is
face.
Charles.
Yeah, yeah.
And Charlie's name is Charlie, based after.
And
her.
he said he killed himself because he had many voices in his head or something.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
mom was trying to fill his
Ugh.
mind with voices.
That's
Which
problematic.
is Paimon.
Yeah. I'd want to see how.
So Charles would have just been cool about it and taken up his
What a fucking
possession.
dickhead.
Everyone
Who
would
does
have
he
been
think
cool,
he
bro.
is?
But no,
Yeah.
you had to go fuck it up
Yeah,
and kill
Peter
yourself.
would have been fine. So then, if this guy is now in our world,
Mm-hmm.
that means he's going to take over the world.
What were they saying? Something about riches and having
Well, I
influence.
think
on,
that I want to say the person who helps him come back is rewarded with gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah, yeah.
I think they said, yeah, like let us
his.
reap your rewards
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Got to wait till Hereditary 2.
Yeah.
Hereditary harder.
Oh.
Paimon.
Paimon's
Paimon's
revenge.
revenge.
Paimon harder. So
But like I said, it's you know what I don't like about movies. Oh no, I'm
there's
sorry.
Words.
What I don't like about people not liking about movies
Oh.
is when they say like, "Oh man, it's just manipulating you, man." Like it's
It's
and I'm
a
like,
movie.
"Isn't that the whole point of all
Yeah.
movies?" I guess it happens it turns bad when it's somebody trying to manipulate you with something that they haven't earned or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you hate a character but then just throw on some like sappy music or some shit to help, make you feel sympathetic toward them, even though they hadn't earned it. So I guess that I understand. But everyone talking about like, oh man, he's trying to manipulate your emotions. Like, what the fuck are you going to the movies for? Like, I'm
Yeah,
here to be
dude.
scared. I'm here to cry. I'm here to laugh. I'm here
It's
to
the
get
same
along.
thing when you read a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you say, as you've gotten older, when you watch movies, that you are more
More
susceptible
emotional?
to your
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
It's like
It's stupid.
what is happening here? Like, why are my eyeballs
Yeah.
leaking?
Like
it's-
even when I saw Luis,
Space
did you
Jam?
no, I'm not a pussy. Did you did you see Raya in the Last Dragon?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's good.
Yeah?
I cried during that. Like there's a few emotional scenes. I'm like fucking fuck. Now I just turned 35,
Mm-hmm.
but like I would say by 31 even, I was already like, what the fuck? Because if I saw this movie 10 years ago, I'd have been like, whatever.
I think I felt the same with Soul.
I didn't finish Soul
Soul was good.
because I have no soul, nor to have empathy or sympathy.
Right.
So
and you're a little racist.
I wouldn't say a little. I'd say a lot of.
Okay, well, so you say emotions like raw emotions like
Sure.
that, but you don't. I think we mentioned this before. Like you don't laugh
No.
out loud a lot in movies, but that hasn't changed. Like you're still
No.
guarded
Yeah,
in that
it's
sense.
it's not. Did you say guarding it? I wouldn't say I'm guarding it. I would just say that's just not how I do it. Like before I used to be like, oh whatever, like this, like watching an emotional movie like name something.
League of
Forrest
Their Own.
Gump.
League of Their Own, Forrest Gump. So like I didn't cry in either of those movies because at that time I was I don't know 13.
I don't know.
That's
League of Their
true.
Own's not that sad, but okay. Sorry.
No, yeah, but it still sucks to have the sisters separate and then they don't. Doesn't one of them die? Or they both see each other again. It was
They see each other at the end.
who was Gina Davis? Who was the younger sister?
Oh my God.
Not
Laurie
Madonna.
Petty.
Like I still like Gina Davis a lot.
She.
She can almost do no wrong. Beetlejuice alone. I was like infatuated with her for a
Are
while.
we doing Beetlejuice soon?
We can.
Hell yeah.
Nice
You
fucking model.
Want to do Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
You gotta go to us. Anyway, so
We're not driving away back over here.
yeah. So this movie, you both definitely liked it. I definitely liked it and enjoyed it. It's not often that I really say I like a horror movie, but it was really good. Again, Midsommar. How do you say it?
Midsommar.
Really enjoyed that too. Also a fucking bummer. But well, granted, the stuff that happens in the movie, like, okay, he kind of okay.
I mean, that's another one, like, where it's just like raw trauma, like her Florence, like, just wailing too at the beginning of that movie, like,
Dude, it's messed up, huh? How the parents died?
oh yeah.
I didn't remember that. Mike told me that scene. I was like, what? Like,
I'm like literally the first 10 minutes of the movie.
It was the sister and the parents, right?
Correct.
Yeah, the sister is bipolar, or whatever.
Yeah,
and she kills herself and kills her parents.
Yeah.
Suffocates.
So this movie, recommend it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Like I said, like I went to be like I've never been that manipulated in a movie, like in a theater, and it's like, oh, this was fun.
And I'm your best friend.
Yeah. We've
I'm
seen
pure
I don't know how
manipulation.
many pornos we've seen
Together
in a theater.
Yeah.
Still nothing as bad as
How
this.
many glory holes we've gone to? I mean,
Like I said, it's so disturbing, but it was so disturbing that you can't get like can't feel gross about it.
Yeah.
Like it's just by the end, at least for me, like by the end, like it's fun and it's insane and
definitely insane.
everyone had a
Some
good
might
time.
even say in the membrane, but insane in the brain for sure. So we all enjoyed it. It's not often that Mike and I agree usually on a lot of movies in a sense, but Luis,
thoughts.
prayers. Okay.
By her head.
You enjoyed it.
Sure.
No, I did a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Gave me nightmares. It got me thinking, like, what if someone's doing this to me?
What if you're just a cog in a machine,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah,
I
man,
know.
you don't know what's even coming.
Bezos got you pegged, man.
Or I'm in
Well,
the Matrix.
this has been another episode. So then, thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Specrapular.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, Luis, for letting us come to your home and record in here. And it took us way too long to get this audio going, but we got it going. And
Wait, do you like Louise or Lewis?
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
what about handsome?
there it is.
Yeah.
Going my dream husband.
I've only known you for like 15 years, but I'm finally asking.
You have not? Have you known 15 years?
When did we start in Downey, bro?
2006? Yeah.
Oh, so I've known him longer. Okay, no big deal.
Just 1 year. You have 1 year.
That
longer.
doesn't matter. That's 1 year sooner. So you're still one peg below.
Whatever,
Sorry, buddy.
man.
Anyway, thank you everybody for listening. The next episode we are doing Whiplash, which is I believe on Netflix.
Sure.
We'll figure it out. You'll see it in the bio by the time this episode comes out. And hope you enjoyed. Mike, take us away.
Spectacular. Scrapper, scapular. Yeah.